Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Michael Cruz Show. I'm your host, Darren Washington, and with me today is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Michael Cruz. We want to thank our sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach, the Tigers are now on a 2-game winning streak following a pair of wins last weekend. And last Friday night, your team scored a big win at home over Hoover. Tell us more about that game.
Yeah, our guys, it was the first time all year we played together. We played hard for the entire 32 minutes. You know, last time we spoke, we were talking about the Hoban game, and we played really well for the first 28 minutes, but didn't finish the last 4 minutes. And it was nice to see that we learned the lesson from that game and used that to help us play much better Friday night.
Then last Saturday, the team got its second win by downing Cleveland Lincoln West. How did your team perform that night?
I was pretty pleased overall. I thought there were times we had some lapses with energy and execution when we got the lead up, over 20-plus points. But overall, anytime you can beat a team by 39 points, you're going to be pleased, especially after coming off of an emotional win versus Hoover, the night prior.
Following the 2 wins, have you seen any change in your players' approach in practice this week as they prepare for their next game this weekend?
Yeah, I think there's certainly more confidence now. Anytime you have a weekend like we were able to have, it's certainly going to get the kids to buy in a little bit more, and I'm starting to see them get a little hungrier for that feeling again. And anytime you can experience success, it hopefully makes you greedy and not complacent. And for the most part, I think our guys have taken that success and been greedy, meaning that they want more.
In what areas of the game are you pushing for more improvement this week in practice?
Well, we still have a lot of work to do in all areas of the game, but specifically our communication on defense is a big thing. Boxing out is something that I thought we did a great job of against Hoover, holding them to 1 shot, but still have a lot of work to do on that end as well. So I would say those are probably the 2 things that we're most focusing on, but we understand to be the team that we want to be, we've got to improve a lot, not just this week, but throughout the course of the year.
We'll talk more with Coach Cruz and meet a Tiger player in a moment. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable. Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks, Reliable Heating and Cooling. And welcome back to the Michael Cruz Show. The Tiger player joining us this week is Dyson Berry. Dyson, your team is on a 2-game winning streak right now. What is the mood of the team?
Stay hungry. Get more wins, because right now we have more losses than wins. So just focus up and get our record back to 0-0 right now. It's the main goal.
As a senior, what do you see as your role on this year's team, both on and off the court?
Be a leader, because a lot of guys look up to me, a lot of younger guys. So I have to lead on and off the court by some of my actions. I messed up somewhat, but I had to fix it because I knew younger guys were looking up to me. So you gotta change it. You gotta do good for everyone, and it helps the team, not just help myself when I do good.
How would you describe a typical practice with Coach Cruz?
They're complicated. I mean, Coach Cruz tries to make sure our practices are harder than the games. So our practices are very complicated, but if you can get through it with energy, then when we get in the game, it just comes easy. And you really don't have to think about nothing, because we did it all in practice that week.
On a personal level, what are your strengths and weaknesses as a player?
My weakness is shooting threes. Strengths, going to the hoop, passing the ball, dribbling, and I just need to work on free throws and shooting threes. But my free throws have got better where they were.
Who is your favorite NBA superstar or college player growing up?
Allen Iverson.
Why?
Because of his demeanor and his swag that he brought to the game. He brought his own way of playing into the game, and I like to bring that to the court because I know people know what I'm gonna do, but I still feel like you can't stop me. And that was kind of his demeanor. Like when he went up versus Jordan, he knew he was playing his idol, but he still killed him.
You also wear his number, right?
Yeah, I wear number 3.
Yep. Well, thank you, Dyson. Coach, tell us more about Dyson, both on and off the court.
I thought he did a really good job of explaining himself. I mean, first and foremost, he's our point guard, which means he's, the coach on the floor. And to see his development from game 1 last year and my first year coaching him to now is very rewarding. He's really learned how to play the point guard position. Still's got to get a little bit better at times with it, but we all have to get better. I have to be a better coach as well, but he's really improved a lot at that. The one thing that he didn't mention about his strengths was defensively, I think he's one of the better on-ball defenders, and certainly one of the better defenders on our team. And even though he's a smaller guard, he does a good job of rebounding as well. So, I've been really pleased with the development in his game. And like he mentioned, maybe struggled a little bit to start the year with the leadership. But these past few weeks, I think he's starting to understand what he needs to do better. And if he continues on the path that he is right now, I think he's going to really grow into the leader that he was meant to be and the leader that this team needs to achieve what we want to achieve.
The Tigers will play at Lake this Friday night. What can you tell us about the Blue Streaks?
They're very good. They don't beat themselves. The thing that Tom does a good job of, he and his staff, is they play mistake-free basketball. When they make mistakes, they're mistakes of aggression, and they make you earn everything you get. So, and they're also very talented. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. It's going to be one of the better teams that we've played to date. But we're looking at it more as an opportunity, like he was talking about earlier.
Next Wednesday night, December 27th, the Tigers return home to battle Parma Padua. How about a scouting report on the Bruins?
Also a very good team. They have one of the better players in their area, in the Cleveland area, as a senior this year. So that's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. Right now, honestly, our focus, though, is just on making sure that we get better in practice leading up to this game on Friday. Obviously, Lake being a district opponent, it's kind of worth 2 games because, obviously, when it comes time for seeding, oftentimes that tiebreaker is going to be who won the head-to-head matchup.
As we approach the end of December and head into the new year, how about an update on the JV and freshman teams and how they're progressing?
Yeah, we have probably one of the youngest JV teams in the state of Ohio. We have 39 kids in our program, and 19 of them are freshmen. So we have right now 4 freshman kids playing exclusively JV, and another couple of freshmen that are splitting quarters between JV and freshmen. But they've progressed nicely. Just like our varsity, we got a late start with about half of our guys, but I'm starting to see them turn that corner a little bit, and I think our coaches, specifically Coach Nick and Coach Jamil, our JV and freshman head coaches, are doing an excellent job, and I'm confident that the future is bright with that group.
Thanks, Coach. As we wrap up another edition of the Michael Cruz Show, we want to thank Reliable Heating and Cooling for sponsoring our show, and thanks to Coach Cruz and Dyson Berry for joining us. I'm your host, Darian Washington. Because of the holiday break, there will not be a show next week, but we'll see you again with a brand new show on Thursday, January 4th. For now, thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.